So, the channel is live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on so many levels. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Woohoo!
D&D.
Dungeons and Dragons!
I am Christiana Ellis. I am the Dungeon Master. Our players tonight, Mark Kilfoyle as Nedry Shiny Rock,
This place offers a lot more questions than I expected.
Jenny Meltzer as Zaleen,
Hello.
Paul Fisher as Zinhorn Windborn,
Good evening.
and Starla Hodgson as Carolina Swift.
Hello, friends.
When last we left, the Pocket Protectors, they had traveled to the Feywild with the assistance of the Archdruid Amethyst, and specifically had been transported directly to an Archfey retreat where four of the most powerful Fey creatures in existence basically hang out and let people perform to entertain them. But the goal here is that if you can help them with what seems to be an infestation of nightmare fungus that the Archfey have had difficulty dealing with, if you can help them out, then maybe they will help you with your quest to steal the Diamond of Infinite Facets from the Lady Despair and Evil Fey elsewhere in the Feywild. And so, you made your way to the theater where you made your presentation, suggesting that if you were allowed to make an attempt to eradicate this fungal scourge, then perhaps they would see fit to aid you on your journey. That's where we left things, and I just want to briefly note that I have titled the episode "The Fungal Scourge." However, I did briefly consider titling it "Fey Court Press." But here we are with the fungal scourge. So, as the the Archfey left their balcony, you had been given leave to try, but not given much else in the way of instruction. You were escorted out of the sensory theater, and you are now currently in a beautiful garden full of bright green trees and beautiful flowers and ornately carved wooden balconies and walkways, and here and there little bits of strange mushrooms that have given the air just a hint of mustiness that feels out of place. What would you like to do?
I would like to conjure up my mage hand
Mm-hmm.
and poke at a mushroom from a distance.
Okay. It squishes a little bit in a fairly mushroom-like way.
Does it release any visible uh, spores or anything like that?
Well, how closely are you looking?
Well,
There's not a big cloud released or anything.
Yeah, I'm not like I don't have my face up there. I'm probably a good 5 to 10 feet away.
I think that you think that if you did that to an ordinary mushroom, you would have to be much closer to see spores coming out of a mushroom because you poked it. So it does not display unusual amounts of spores. It does not display any sort of spores that you can see, but you're standing 5 to 10 feet away from a small mushroom that you just poked with a mage hand. So I would call that inconclusive.
Should I try to pull? I don't know if the mage hand is strong enough, but I could give it a shot trying to pull one up.
Well, so there are mushrooms of various sizes. How big is the one that you're?
A small one.
A small one. Okay. So, or just a few inches tall, that sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the mage hand is able to pluck it without difficulty.
Okay. So no resistance. Going to bring the mage hand over to us. Probably somewhere like near Nedry's level, but not like in his face. What do you think?
Well, it's a mushroom. I don't know much about mushrooms. You think this is the actual bad part? I mean, I can check for nightmare energy if that's what you
I mean,
want.
it's a part. Like, I don't know how this like scientific dissection stuff works. That's like your area.
Well, more magical dissection. I mean, I can run a few tests, but it just sort of seems to be growing. If we can find out where it's coming from, that's probably the best part.
Would someone
Well-
like to make a nature check?
No?
All right, then.
I
mean, you
give
can
it a
try.
shot.
It's pure intellect at this
Sure.
point. But,
So I was just about to say, don't do it if you don't have proficiency. But
he doesn't have proficiency, so
the
I
other
have
thing,
half proficiency with everything.
well,
so.
half proficiency is enough to make a roll. But one of the things that I was also going to just briefly bring up is that Ivy in the meta here is an expert sidekick, right? That's how she is statted. And one of the things that we haven't really been doing is using her proficiency with various skills. So if you all want to have her roll some of these checks, then you can do that. I don't actually think she has
doesn't-
nature, but
She does not have nature, no.
but she has some things, and so I guess I just want to remind you that that's an option that you guys could potentially make use of. I would certainly role play her answer if she gets one, but I'll let you all decide when she rolls.
Evan is actually proficient in nature.
Oh yeah? Well, he can
Yeah.
roll too then, I guess.
Go, Evan.
All
Not
right. Well,
really.
he got a 7. I think he just wrinkles his nose. It's like, I hate mushrooms. Yeah, Nedry, I guess you have enough of base intelligence that I'll just go ahead and give you with that 19 that you rolled prematurely. What I'll say is, or at least you're vaguely familiar with the idea that when you see a mushroom, pop up above the surface, usually that part that you see visibly is not necessarily even really the bulk of the actual, entity, right? Like the living thing. Although mushrooms certainly have a slightly distinct variety of living thing compared to, say, animals or plants. But they tend to spread via underground, like fibrous sort of networks of material. And so usually when you see like a cluster of mushrooms in a certain place, those are actually all linked underground. They're not like distinct from one another. They're all kind of one thing. And you realize that it is quite possible that all of these different mushrooms that you're seeing are spreading in that way, right? So there's spores that can spread airborne, but they can also spread via underground tendrils.
Well, I don't really know much about mushrooms, but the way the nightmare energy works tends to be like it seeps into places. It could, I suppose, infect every individual mushroom separately, but that seems like a lot of work. I think rather we want to find out if there's clusters or if it's coming through somewhere else.
and Nedry will cast Detect Nightmare to try to
Okay.
spot the energy.
All right. So I think that you definitely, I think you had done that briefly before, right? When you first arrived.
I think so, yeah.
And so you certainly detect it from the mushrooms, but I suppose in this context, if what you're doing is trying to use that to kind of give you a better sense of like what direction does it seem to be more intense from, is that kind of the idea?
Yeah, I guess the kind of the mining context. He's looking for the vein of the source, if you will.
Right. I think that using that, let's have you make an investigation check.
Okay.
Okay. 17's not too bad. I think that you find that as you're sort of trying to follow the source and the currents of this nightmare energy, You're sort of walking along these little gravel pathways and beautifully ornate wooden bridges and so on through this garden. All of you, as you're following, I assume you're following, are noticing that the number and frequency of these mushrooms is increasing as you move in that direction. And I think at a certain point you're realizing I'll remind all of you that there's lots of people around who could potentially be asked some of these questions. But in the meantime, this method is leading you, you believe, in the approximate right direction. But you're passing people who kind of just give you a side eye, like, all right, what are you doing? Okay, all right, just leave you to your business. Everyone kind of saw what you were proposing, and so you didn't ask for help, and they've not offered any.
Have you thought about how to attack the mushrooms? Like, do you think fire would work, or?
Well, we have a lot of different elements at our disposal.
Yep.
Fire, cold, maybe a bit of poison, although that seems a bit weird for plants. Necromantic energy, possibly radiant force. An axe or a sword might also cut them off.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that there's something at the source of all of this.
Yeah.
The nightmare energy usually doesn't just do plants. It likes mobile creatures. So I would not be surprised if there was a mobile creature somewhere in the midst of this, or maybe a central plant that can move, or can move now, or had dreams of moving. I don't really know how dreams and plants interact.
Well, the Feywild is a very strange place. Like, I heard stories about even there was like one rock in particular that, I mean, it'd be really cool if we could meet him, but I don't think we should make a special trip or anything. But
did you say meet him and rock?
Sorry, I didn't. I shouldn't presume pronouns them, but yes,
probably an earth elemental of some kind.
Oh,
what's the Feywild? Everything kind of has a spirit here. So, can I look around to see if anybody seems to be like paying particularly close attention to us, or trying to seem as though they're not paying attention to us?
Well, people are definitely watching you, right? Like, it's not quite as dramatic as a big crowd following you around or anything. But you did kind of just make a big promise at the middle of a theater in front of a big audience, at which point it was dismissed. And so there are people who are like curious about what you're going to do. And when I say people, I should be clear too that this is all manner of different fey creatures. You've got satyrs and fauns and centaurs and dryads and pixies, and as well as some humanoid races that you are more familiar with, and Eladrin. So there's this whole area that you're in is a populated area, and so as no one is like following you exactly, but there are definitely people who note you as you approach and pay attention.
So okay, so in Sylvan, I'm just going to kind of catch the eyes of different people that happen to be around and looking at us. In Sylvan, I will ask would anybody happen to know, I don't know, where all this started?
So tell me in a just general term, what sort of person would you have chosen to speak to directly? It can be a vibe. It doesn't have to be a particular type of creature. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, are you just looking for someone who seems approachable? Is that the point?
Yeah. I'm just like trying to make eye contact with like everyone, just like a general question.
Sure. Oh, so like if you're asking as like a group, like you're seeing a whole bunch of people and you're sort of addressing them as a group. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Okay. Pretty good at those. 24.
several of the individuals kind of are thinking about it. Like you get a reaction, but in particular, there's one little fawn who has a little quarterstaff on her back and dressed in sort of like a monk's leathers, so to speak, in armor, but just kind of clops forward on little hooves and just says, "Well, everyone knows that the fungus is coming from the mycelial gate." It's that way.
That's very helpful. Thank you. Would you know when this all started? How long has this been going on?
Well, I mean, it's been. I guess I don't know exactly how long, but we've started seeing the mushrooms spread further out just in the last, gosh, I don't know how to explain the time. You're mortals from the material plane, right? It's
Yes.
a while.
I think I understand. Well, so because I don't think any of these people speak Sylvan, and I don't know if the fawn was speaking in Sylvan. I'm going to assume so,
the fawn was speaking Sylvan back to you.
Mm-hmm. So they said this started a while ago, which, I mean, time is a little funny here. At the mycelium gate, is that right?
That's what mycelial gate. Yeah,
mycelial gate, which is that way. So that might be a good place to start.
It does. That direction does certainly align with what your detect nightmare was kind of suggesting, Nedry. The fawn kind of looks to you again and saying, "Are you going to fight the fungus?"
We'll see what happens. We don't necessarily want to fight, but we can. It depends on what the situation calls for.
She looks back to some of the others and says, "There's going to be a battle."
That's not what I said.
Is there not going to be a battle?
Well, we don't know yet. We are still collecting information about the situation to figure out how best to combat this problem.
She kind of steps back and she folds her arms a little bit and just says, "I bet there's going to be a battle."
Well, sadly, that usually ends up being the truth. But fingers crossed.
So I think Zinhorn, if you were not speaking Sylvan, then the fawn would not have understood you. But
good point.
But Lynn did
Caroline?
say it to us, my mycelial gate. So.
Well, I would translate and ask the question. My friend here would like to know what a mycelial gate is.
Oh, well, here in the Feywild, portals open to all sorts of places all the time, and they come and go. There's some that stick around more long term, and then there are some that are open but for just a moment. But every so often, there are different kinds, and this one had fungus in it. And ever since it opened, it's just been sitting there open, and all of these mushrooms are coming out of it. I would have thought that the Archfey would have sent it away, but they haven't yet. So there must be some purpose for it to be there. Perhaps they knew that you would come to dispose of it for them.
Well, that is why we're here. And I would pass that information on to my friends, obviously.
I wonder if it's related to that other place. We don't exactly know where that being has gone to, after all.
You're talking about that demon lord, correct? I did have some similar thoughts.
Well, they created the pocket dimension because of what Percival Cankers did, and it collapsed.
I mean,
when we left, but
Solomonia said that she was going to, or that we made it go somewhere else. Oh, you guys think this might be our fault?
Well, not exactly, but sort of, Maybe. We'll find out.
I actually wonder if it might not be Salomonia somehow.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I mean,
Yeah.
you did see a big empty chair that was Solomonia's when she's here.
I mean, she's kind of the sort of person that we don't want to upset. So maybe let's just go and check it out and see if there's something we can do that, doesn't involve her interference
There may be some way
in the
to,
situation.
to close the gate. That would probably be the best option,
Mhm.
although it might be difficult to do.
I think Nedry, you or perhaps Ivy just says, I thought that you had said that when you evaluated the fungus in the pocket dimension in Pashan, that it did not display the nightmare energy.
True.
That was fiendish in nature instead.
Well, true. But if the adversary was involved, and maybe an offshoot of that? Huh. Or perhaps even demon lords can be infected by nightmare energy. That doesn't feel like a good combination.
No, not
But
at
it
all.
may be.
I was just going to say, don't we know that the adversary is kind of trapped right now? I mean, don't we know
Not
that?
anymore.
Well, no.
Yeah.
He's
Meta.
released.
Okay.
Amethyst
Yeah.
took his place. So,
Okay.
well, let's go check this out.
Indeed, we need more information.
Yeah.
This way,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yes. So as you are making your way across these paths with the enormous trees towering above you, you are seeing more and more of these mushrooms popping up, and then eventually you kind of cross a bit of a ridge, and it is you what you see before you. I think you suspect is probably what the fawn was talking about. And I'm going to put you on a new map in Roll20 here. And so let me put that on the stream here. So as you are all your tokens are kind of blocking the little wooden walkway that you're on, but as you look down across this little plaza, you can see that there is a much more concentrated region of the fungus, and you can see all sorts of strange like vines and tendrils connecting them, and they all seem to be centrally emerging from what looks like basically a dark hole in the ground that has just these tendrils all emerging out of it. And you can see also that right now, where they are most concentrated and where you can see the thickest growth of these tendrils, is where they are shaded. Where as opposed to once there is direct sunlight and they're not in the shade anymore, you see that they thin out considerably at that point. There's still mushrooms here and there, but obviously they're just much denser in the shade.
Hey, boss, what do you think about trying Sacred Flame and seeing if radiant damage will work?
Well, hold on just a minute before we go setting fire to stuff. We need to approach this carefully.
Actually,
Yeah. All right.
Well, the other thing is that what we were told by Amethyst is that the Archfey had difficulty eradicating it themselves. And so it may be that if there were a simple brute force solution, it would have been tried already.
there's also another issue here. Just as when we removed the nightmares from living beings, the living beings were decent people. The mushrooms might not actually be the thing which is the evil here, but rather the thing that's taken them over. So destroying the mushroom is like destroying the people that have been infected, rather than actually the solution. Something in that hole is what's causing this. And while everybody might not recover exactly once whatever it is dealt with, then they can have the corruption removed more easily. Whereas I'm afraid well, because it's a mycelial gate, mushrooms would be normal. But they're...
Yeah, but they gave it that name because mushrooms came through it.
True.
So maybe the thing that's causing the problem is on the other side.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Danger hole.
But if radiant damage does more damage, I would like to find that out before we go through and confront what's on the other side. Because
what if we don't even have to fight? I mean, what if there's a diplomatic solution? I mean, we don't want to just go in there flinging damage until we know what we're facing.
That would provoke a fight with an enemy we know nothing about so far.
Not to mention the innocent mushroom that might be destroyed.
It's nightmare energy. We are
if we don't extract it from them.
Why don't we try to spell magic on the gate?
You think the Archfey maybe didn't try that?
I don't know. I'm making proposals. Do you think we should just walk through the gate and not try anything on this side?
I mean, you guys have talked about just jumping in no poles before, so... That's a throwback.
Yep.
Well...
So the only thing we've had of an indication of a gate is the depression in the ground where these tentacle-like fungus are coming out of?
Well, there is, in fact, what from where you are now looks like a deep shadowed hole in the ground that all these tendrils are coming out of. But there's a lot of tendrils coming out of them. It's not clear how much clearance there would be to try to move physically through the hole, but it does seem to be where the tendrils are coming from.
What if you take...
No,
go ahead. No, you go ahead. You were asking like a direct question.
Well, I'm just wondering, are they mobile? Do they seem to be moving, or is it just...
No, none of them are like moving or writhing around or anything like that. It's basically just they're acting like mushrooms.
Okay.
I was going to say, what if Zinhorn, we go over that way and you use the pipe like close to the source? Like we can't get in there, but if you use the pipe close to the source, maybe that would...
Okay.
Before we do that, let me try something once just to see what happens.
Okay.
And I'm going to send dancing lights over towards the no pole.
Okay. I just realized I had Buster on the map, but I believe you had him in the tower.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. You send dancing lights over there by the hole, and they certainly give off their glow. What color light do you have them giving off right now?
Just a nice warm white light.
Okay. So you certainly see the light showing this thick mat of fibrous tendrils emerging from the hole, and you can see that some of these tendrils like from here you really can't look down into the hole because you're just too far away. You're seeing it at an angle, right? But you certainly can get a better look that it's very clear that the fiber, these tendrils are coming up out of it. It is by far the densest area of growth.
On the map, is there a specific part which is the hole? I don't see a feature unless
I'm pinging it. No, I'm pinging it right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see that it's growing down all along that left side of the map, but up in the corner here is basically the hole.
The no pole.
Yeah, and it is it is growing elsewhere, but that is where it's the densest.
Well,
To get a better perspective.
There's also the possibility there might be a mind in there.
And Nidra will kind of trundle forward a little bit to about there, which I think we're on a path that leads to stairs down. Is that what I'm
Yeah,
reading
that's
here?
right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm assuming the scale is right.
Yeah. Yeah.
60 feet to there.
Mm-hmm.
And Nedry will just send out a telepathic message.
Okay.
Hello? Is anyone there?
You don't get any. You don't sense a mind to reply.
Nothing so far as I can tell. I'm just using the basic ability to talk in my mind. I can push it with spells, but I'm not sure if there's a there. I'll have to look closer to find out.
Is this log that's over here, is that a thing we can get on top of?
Yep. Yep.
And like maybe, so would this be at a higher elevation than the hole?
Yes. Yes. So if you want to just get a little closer and try to look down into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. And so I think from there you can see a little further down into it. It again, unless you're like standing right next to it or directly above it in midair or something like that, you're not going to be able to look straight down it. But what you see is if someone had just like bored a deep hole 15 feet or so across in the ground, and then growing out of it is this massive tendrils. But as I mentioned before, you think that it would be you couldn't just jump down the hole, right? There's too much of the growth coming out of it. But that said, it seems to be coming from there, and so perhaps if you were to try to clear some space, you could, or perhaps if one of you were smaller or something like that, you might be able to find your way in between the tendrils. But it's mostly it is full of the tendrils in a way. Just kind of like imagine, uh, vines or something, right? Like they don't literally fill the entire space, but they block enough of it that it's not easy to pass through.
Well, the good news is I don't think the fungus are intelligent. At least I'm not receiving anything, connection like any mind. So that makes it easier, Zenhorn, because I don't think that they'll complain as much if they're, cut or something.
I'm thinking like I could go. It's not pinging when I click on the map.
To if you want to ping, you click and hold it down.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking like if I stand over here, I could try the pipe here, or does that seem like a good place? Or you think over here?
How close do you have to be to the in corrupted person?
Let me see.
Again, I'm not really sensing a person as such yet.
Well, perhaps the nightmare energy, when we are on a different plane after all, is it possible that it would be expressed differently in the Feywild versus the material plane?
I mean, you know more about the Feywild than I do. From everything I've read, most of the rules are broken here, so sure. Could also be a shard or something. It almost looks like when a rock impacts from a high to high height. Like something fell from the sky, but I don't even know where the skies are here.
Well, it's still up.
It did
True.
explain that like portals appear, so clearly there's some kind of, I don't know, pocket dimension or something that's just full of mushrooms.
Well, I can be within 60 feet, I think, if I'm reading this correctly.
Well, if I recall, the pipe requires you explicitly to breathe the smoke onto the target, and they have to breathe it in.
And I don't think
Smoke is
fungus
exhaled. It does
breathes.
not different lingers. After 10 minutes, the smoke forms.
Well,
If the text is not clear on that subject, let me clarify it that the intent is that you are blowing the smoke onto the target. It's not something
Okay.
you could do from 60 feet away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the maze spell, which is
The maze spell is different. The pipe creates a very specific. Well, and the maze spell is also like that is for attuning to the pipe. That's not
okay.
That's not related to what the pipe does when you're using it already attuned.
Got it.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, I have to be right next to it to blow smoke on it.
Mm-hmm.
well,
So
we
I
could
would
make
need
our
to
way
be like
through.
here.
I think
Well,
we might have to.
I'd like
Like,
to try it at the edge first, just to see if we get any kind of reaction, and then see what to do after that. Does that sound good?
I'm going to put my shield up. Just
Do you
in
want me
case.
to go with you and stand behind you just in case something terrible happens?
Please, yes.
Okay.
Well, even if something that we want has happened, we'll probably want to be ready. Because if it does actually coalesce the nightmare energy into a being that we can fight, we'll then have to fight it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be over here.
Mm-hmm.
Places everybody.
Hmm.
Um,
I imagine Evan would come running too.
Yeah.
I'm helping.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Ivy too.
Yeah.
I can
Everyone
move
should be.
Ivy.
You can't. Everyone
No.
should be able to move the token. That's why. Okay, that's so bizarre. Why does it not? Okay, hang on. Let me.
I
The
can move
rules
her
are
now.
different in the
Yeah.
Feywild.
Yeah.
She's gonna stand by Nedry.
All right. Everyone should be able to move Ivy's token. Same with Evan. But in any case.
All right.
All right. So.
Yep.
So you position yourself near one of the big mushrooms and use the pipe.
I use the pipe.
I think as you're all kind of preparing that and you're down there in the area, you do vaguely realize that on various ridges and ledges at a safe distance, there are a lot of people who seem to be watching. But as you inhale through the pipe and have the smoke and you exhale it onto one of the larger mushrooms there in that spot, you see the smoke swirling around it, and perhaps you even take a moment to wonder, do mushrooms breathe? Like, can they breathe? How does that work? You're not necessarily sure. You're not seeing them respond immediately in any case.
Right. I'll spend like 10 minutes.
Well, no, don't jump too far. I'm just saying, like in the seconds that follow your exhale, I'm just saying, you see the smoke sort of swirling around the one mushroom, and it doesn't just immediately lurch or something like that, but you see the smoke kind of settling down to like trail along the ground, and you see for a moment that the smoke is not behaving quite the way ordinary smoke would in this circumstance. You see it almost stretching out, and as it branches, flowing down and settling in the low points between these tendrils, you see it almost stretching out into these long, thin tendrils and taking shapes almost like the fungal tendrils themselves. And then, was there a little tremble, this mushroom in front of you? Did it kind of quiver? The smoke has kind of dissipated as far as you can tell. But wait, over there, was there another little bit of a shake? You're not sure. But then gradually it becomes obvious that there is movement here and there within these tendrils. You see, you know, it's hard to kind of see it happening because it keeps happening in unexpected little locations where it's just a little bit that draws your eye and then it's stopped. But something does seem to be happening over the course of the next minute or so here. Are any of you doing anything else?
I would like to cast Fairy Fire
Okay.
over the big hole.
Okay.
So it's like a
Okay.
20-foot cube.
Mm-hmm. I think so. I think that would only register anything that's there now. It doesn't stick around, does it? Or does it?
It says any creature in the area when the spell is cast
Right.
is also outlined in light if it fails a Dex saving throw.
Right, but it doesn't like. So if something is not there now and shows up later, nothing happens. But it's if anything is there now.
Right.
Yeah. So, but what does happen is that all of this fairy fire light. What color have you chosen for the fairy
Purple.
fire? Purple.
Purple.
The purple light is now clinging to the sides of this hole and all the little tendrils there that are giving you a much clearer sort of shape of the the contours of this hole there, and just having a lot more sort of visibility there, but you don't see it form around any particular creatures. But then kind of as you're looking in that direction, you see one of the mushrooms kind of lurch, and you see a strange sort of like the otherwise smooth cap of this mushroom seems to be developing some sort of like a pulsing, swelling spot on the top of it, and it's kind of like leaning back and forth. And at this thing on the top of it is
Well, I don't like that. That's not right.
Okay. I put down the pipe, pull out my shield and spear, and keep watching.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to back up a bit.
Yeah, that seems like a prudent thing to do.
And then as you're watching, the leaning is getting more violent, and you can see that each time it sort of yanks back and forth, some of the tendrils around it are sort of like pulled up off the ground a little bit. And then as this weird pulsating blister on the top kind of bursts, a strange little like almost like an arm or like a tentacle kind of emerges from it, and as it sort of shakes off like lingering a little bit of weird slime, you see what looks almost like a mouth with sharp teeth, and it pulls the tendrils free, and they suddenly rear up like spider legs.
All right. In the meta, I think you've been watching too much anime.
And so
Rolling for initiative.
well, I'm going. It depends a little bit on you, but this thing has certainly sort of shaped itself into what looks much more like a creature of some kind, and a monstrous one to be sure. But it is still up to you how you want to proceed.
It does
Ladies,
have a mouth.
negotiate at will.
Nedry will try again with the telepathy aimed at this thing,
Okay.
and again just sort of say hello.
We aren't here to hurt you if you're not nightmare.
Yeah, you don't get any more mind from it than you would if you did that to a tree.
Just gonna try talking. Hello? Hi?
It kind of sort of shivers a little bit, and it like shifts its little tendril legs around, like kind of turning itself a little bit. But it doesn't have like, it has this weird sort of mouth at the end of like a tendril, but there's no obvious face. and it kind of shifts around, but it's not even clear that it's orienting itself to you or your voice. It's just moving a little bit.
Well, we were wondering if maybe we don't think this is your home, so we thought maybe you would like to go home. Anybody want to help me out here?
You suddenly hear kind of another sort of splatting sound, and you realize that a little closer over to the hole, another one of the mushrooms had made the same kind of transformation.
Oh.
I will try to speak abyssal to it to see if it works. Just because, and just be like, ask it, can you even hear us?
I mean, they don't obviously respond to you, but they are kind of sort of moving around slightly, kind of like it. Like they're not like moving towards you or directly like twitching in your direction when you speak or anything like that.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Would the pipe work again? Like it's got a mouth now.
I think the pipe is what started this business.
Pipe pulls nightmares out of living things, aka this should be considered a nightmare and we should attack it. But I'm waiting for the boss.
And there's 2 more splats, and now there's 4 of them.
Well, in Sylvan, I would say we don't mean to harm you. We don't want to harm you, but folks would very much like their home back. So if you could retreat back into yours, then we could just avoid any kind of confrontation. Nothing?
I mean, they don't like, so one of them does start kind of scuttling, like
That's gross.
a little closer over there. Like
To the hole?
No,
or to us?
like toward, like one of them is sort of vaguely in your direction as it gets to the running water, like, and the tendrils kind of go into it. It's almost like it's probing that, like almost like a blind creature is just saying, "Oh, water, what is that?" You know?
Okay. Well, you know what? I don't think this is gonna work out. So, yeah, I'm getting creeped out. So, yeah, I'm don't think they're really. I don't think they're word people. So, anything you want to try, Zenhorn?
I'm gonna give Sacred Flame a try.
Okay. What, on the nearest one there?
Yeah, on the nearest one.
Okay. So it let's have it make its
Dex saving
Dex
throw
save, yeah.
versus target 16.
It suddenly hops out of the way of your burst of sacred flame, and it hops out of the harm's way, and now we're rolling initiative.
Okay.
All right.
I really think that Lynn should have said,
As a duly designated representative of the Feywild and our prime material plane, I order you to cease any and all supernatural activity. Return forthwith to your place of origin.
I used up all my good words last week. Sorry.
let's see here. Oops. I rolled it twice and I got the same number, so there you go.
All right. I'm adding, so if you let's see, if you have your token selected when you roll, it can add it directly, but don't worry about it. I can also do it this way for Zaylene and Evan. Zaylene or Carolina, what's your dex?
+3, just 16.
Okay.
Sorry.
Natural 20.
I think that beats Evan, so
Evans is a 3.
oh well, it's both 16 then, so
Mhm.
need
Rollies.
you to roll. Yep.
Why does Zenhorn roll with initiative? Is that a shield thing?
I think one of his
With advantage,
items.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evan got a 3.
So that's probably not gonna. Okay.
Ooh. Feisty little things.
What? Just looking closer at the little token?
No, the fact that they got a 21.
Yep. All right. I think we've got everybody on here. So, sure enough, these things do go first. And yeah, so I think this first one suddenly scuttles right up to you, Zinhorn. And it is going to it sort of claws at you with two of these tendrils that seem to have developed sort of like thorny protrusions on them. And it's also going to try to bite you with this weird like tentacle mouth it's got. So first, the bite is only an 8 to hit. And then claw got a critical fail and another 8. So those first rolls, not too impressive. This one scuttles into the water and it's going to attack Nedry. 24 for the bite.
Yeah.
And it's that's 9 piercing damage. And then it's claw, critical fail. And then a 16.
Sorry, it was. Sorry, I got caught between kind of updating the damage and then looking
Okay.
at my stats. Shield.
Okay.
That'll miss.
All right.
And his glowy form once more creates wraps around him.
Okay. And I'm just putting data into the different tokens here. All right, and so then this one is going to attack Ivy. And this one suddenly now is taking advantage of the close proximity of the other one. And so it's using pack tactics and attacking with advantage.
Ooh.
So that's a 23 to hit.
Oop.
And furthermore, it seems as though it is managing to use that advantage to hit even harder. So this bite is going to do 18 piercing damage.
Nedry will react, and the blue glow around him forms around Ivy, taking all of that.
Okay. So now it's attacking with the claws. The first is a 24 to hit for 6 slashing damage. And then a 23 to hit for 7 slashing damage. Does Nedry's reaction only apply to that first one?
Only one strike, one reaction.
Yeah. Okay, so that would have been the 18, and then Ivy is going to take 13.
Yeah.
Okay. And then this one over here. It can't get all the way to where it can attack on one turn, but it dashes to end up right here next to Zinhorn. So, Zinhorn, you're up.
Yes, I am. Well, let's start with a breath weapon attack since I can get the two that are right next to me.
Okay. They both make dex saves, I believe.
Yeah, dex save DC 15.
Okay, well, they got a 5 and a 6 respectively. Some of those rolls are getting really low. I don't. It's surprising how many of them have been like sub 8, but they both fail.
Not the worst, not the best. 12 points of damage to both of them.
All right, they take it.
Okay.
You watch as your lightning breath carves blackened, smoking little, branching scars across their fungal flesh.
And for my bonus action, I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
All right.
And give me one sec to see. Okay, so at 6th level.
Okay.
And natural 20.
Nice. So, yeah, that's going to hit then. Which one were you attacking?
The one that was closest to me to begin with.
Okay. All right.
So 20 points of damage.
Okay. Is that, let's see. Is that including the crit? Because that might be just the regular 6th level damage.
That's regular 6th level damage.
Yeah, so it looks like you need another 3d8 on there.
Okay. So we'll just ignore the +3 on here. So that's 13 for the extra for the crit.
Okay. So that's 33 damage. That's a pretty solid hit. Yeah, that you just your spiritual hammer just or the spiritual weapon. It's not a hammer because it's a representation of Rashama the Mountain, right? It's just a hammer token.
No, I actually go old school and make it a hammer.
All right. Well, then it just crushes out a whole, like carves out a gouge of fungal flesh from this thing, and it still seems able to move around pretty good, but it's has less actual mass than it did a moment ago. All right.
So that's me.
Okay. So, Zaylene, you're up.
I'm gonna do Eldritch Blast at the first 3 in that line.
Okay.
So
18 hits. 21 hits. 26 will hit.
okay.
Okay. 2 damage for the
Oh
first
my
one.
god.
1 damage for the second one.
1, 2,
And 3
3
damage. All right. Well,
And then for my bonus action, I'm also going to whip out my spiritual weapon
Okay.
at level 3.
All right. So let me give you control of the token. Okay, so you can put the token where you like now.
All right, I'm gonna hit the same one that Zinhorn hit.
Okay,
if I
a 13 does not hit, unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Carolina, your turn.
Alrighty. So don't be shocked, but I actually know what I'm going to do. I'm going to move 2, 3. I'm going to hop over the stream here for 5. And I am going to cast Lightning Bolt at these 3.
All right.
So that's a Dex check, 17.
All right. So from in order that they would be hit, it's going to be 18, 21, 18. Okay, they're rolling high now. So sorry about that. But so yeah, they all 3 succeed, but 13 lightning damage instead of 26.
Yep.
All right. That one that Zinhorn got the crit on is looking pretty rough. Oh, no, excuse me. That one wasn't hit. Never mind. Sorry. So all 3 of those do take that damage, but the one that Zinhorn had got the crit on wasn't one of the ones in the line.
It does ignite flammable objects in the area that aren't being worn or carried. Are they flammable?
You don't think they would fit that category in this context.
Okay. And they're standing in water.
Yeah, they look
mostly,
pretty
so.
moist and squishy, yeah. All right. They don't seem like resistant to it or anything, though. Okay. Cool. All right. Is that the end of your turn?
Yep.
All right. Evan's turn.
Okay, Evan is gonna rush up to the one that Zinhorn was fighting,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna make 3 blade attacks against it.
Nice.
Maybe. We'll see. No. 14, 13,
Nope, neither of those hit.
and then 22.
Okay, a 22 does hit.
Okay, and it does 5 damage.
All right, yeah. So he definitely pierces it, but it's not down yet. Okay, Nedry.
Okay. Seeing Ivy on one side and Zinhorn in the other, Nedry has that moment of, but no, both of them. But then reaches over, seeing that Ivy took this major hit. Miss Ivy grabs her hand, and there's that moment of when he looks up. He kind of forgot what he was going to do, but then he remembers. With his other hand in the quill, he draws what is supposed to be the shape of a shield.
Mm-hmm.
It looks remarkably like a heart, and he tries to not pay attention to that, so he scratches a line through the middle of it, and the spell goes off, surprising him a little bit and her as he casts protection from evil and good twinned on both her and himself.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And then he, out of instinct, taps onto protective verses and then points over to Zinhorn and gives Zinhorn 17 temporary hit points.
Nice.
And then he's kind of looking at his quill, looking at his hand, going, okay. And that's it. That's all the turn.
All right. So next is Ivy.
Yeah. I just realized that she could have used evasion on that hit.
Oh,
And-
okay.
Yeah, but
So do we want you want to give
no,
so
it's fine. It's my mistake, so I'm not gonna.
well, so she would have gotten to wait, so evasion doesn't evasion
Yeah, that's for a dexterity saving throw. So yeah.
Yeah. So in any case,
Okay.
Ivy's
Yeah.
turn.
Well, I think Ivy would be thankful to Nedry, so she's going to use the inspiring help.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bonus action.
Right.
So that means Nedry will gain a 1d6 bonus to a d20 roll. If that's an attack roll, the creature can forgo adding the bonus to it. And if the attack hits, the creature can add the bonus to the attack's damage roll against one target. So that's for Nedry. And then I think she's going to... I think she's going to use her javelin to poke at this thing that's in front of her.
Sure.
Or probably this one here.
Okay.
Shoot. Wrong sheet. Attack to hit. Did that go? Yes.
All right. A 12. That looks like the talon attack rather than the javelin, but that's okay. A 12.
Yeah,
does
it would
not
be the
hit,
same.
Though. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But she sort of claws at it or jabs at it with the javelin, but it misses unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay. So, then you all hear coming from the hole a skittering sound, and an enormous creature, somewhat similar to the ones you've just been fighting, but a lot bigger, emerges. And it is its turn now. And first, let's see. Yeah, it can. It charges towards you, Lynn. And as it's this one, unlike the ones that you've dealt with so far, has a face, and that face has eyes, And as you look at those eyes boring into you, Lynn, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Well, it's a nice knowing you guys. Okay, wisdom saving throw, like +0, so straight D20.
Okay.
12.
Unfortunately, that is a failure. And as you stare into its eyes, you are just so overwhelmed with terror that you are paralyzed until the end of, let's see, until the end of your next turn.
Awesome.
Well, not, yeah. So, like,
Can
awesome
I
for it.
use
Yeah.
Can I use inspiration to re-roll that? Is that how that works?
If
or
you
is
have
that...
a point of inspiration, you mean?
I do. You gave it to me last week.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'll allow that. I think.
I mean, I don't think it's going to go any better, but
Sure. I think rules as written, you're supposed to declare it before you roll and not
Yeah,
use it
just-
to just roll again. But that's okay. I will allow you to use it for that.
I always forget. Yeah, no.
Unfortunately, worse. So,
Yeah.
so I think all of you see this enormous creature emerge from the hole, scuttle alarmingly fast towards Carolina, who has just gone kind of like blank-eyed and frozen in the face of it. And so now that it is right up on you and you are paralyzed, it is attacking with advantage. It is going to make a bite attack. Gets a 25.
Yep.
And it does 37 worth of piercing damage.
Ouch.
Oh, you know what? Actually, paralyzed means that it should be an automatic crit.
Great.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So add another 18 to that. So let's see. It's 55 piercing damage.
Nedry will throw out the arcane ward to take 7 of that,
Okay.
but then realizes it's not quite enough.
And then it makes its attack with its claws. 2 of
Great.
those. Yeah.
Sweet. Can't wait.
26 to hit.
Yep.
And then same deal. That's going to be 37
Yep, I'm
slashing
down.
damage.
I had 34 left.
Mm-hmm. And then it claws again, and you're going to fail one death saving throw right away.
Awesome.
Okay, and then at the end of its turn, 2 more of the little ones poof out of their respective little mushrooms. Let's see, where is that other one? There we go. All right, and those start moving towards the rest of you. Let's see. I think that one is gonna 10, 20, 30, 60. Get to there, but it has to dash. That one gets to there and is attacking Ivy, but so it would have advantage from pack tactics, but it will have disadvantage because of the protection spell that Nedry cast. So it's a straight roll. Okay, so it makes the bite attack, gets a 13 to hit. I don't think that hits Ivy.
No, 14.
All right. And then its claw attacks are a 10 and an 8 respectively. So it excuse me. That was just the first, it was straight rolls because it does. Yeah. Okay. So it misses with all 3 of its attacks, but you're dealing with more of those now. And then of course the big one that has just, done a lot of damage to your bard friend. Okay. That makes it Zinhorn's turn.
Okay. Healing word. Actually, you know what? Let's go all out. I am going to channel divinity and where do I check that off? And do my big healing thing.
Okay.
Preserve life. Within 30 feet.
Yeah. So if you want to move, let's see. Oh,
I would have to disengage, or
no, she's within 30 feet, just
is she?
barely. Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah. If you draw straight from your token to hers, there's 30 feet. Yeah.
Rushama, heal my ally as I slam my holy symbol on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and Lynn gets 65 hit points.
Nice.
And for my bonus action, I will do my attack with my spiritual hammer.
Okay. Same one that it had been attacking before?
Yeah.
All right.
18.
That hits. You're probably going to crush that one.
I certainly hope so. 16 points of damage.
Okay. Hang on, I have to make another one of them the one in the turn tracker, because that one
goes splat.
Yeah, you crush that one, and it is destroyed. Okay. So, Carolina, you are awake. You've been healed. I think that the process of being brought back from unconsciousness has eliminated the maddening fear that was paralyzing you. So
It's my turn.
yeah, I know. I'm just
Okay.
telling Carolina.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I'm just saying that when it does come to her turn, she is not still paralyzed. So that's just the response from the healing spell. But yes, you're right, Zaleen, it is your turn.
Okay. I am going to move and hop across the thing here so that I'm within 30 feet of the big bad that just took out my girl.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cast Blight on him.
Okay.
So he needs to make a Constitution 16.
All right. Let's do it, Skittering Horror. Constitution? 9.
Okay. He takes 9d8. 55 necrotic damage.
Nice. So here's the thing: the stat block that I chose is not technically a plant, and so so what is the blight rule for plants?
If you target a plant creature or a magical plant, it makes the saving throw with disadvantage, and the spell deals max damage to it.
Nice.
No, fungus is not. Well, but then again, so here's where the mechanics of D&D are a little weird. Like, are like myconids considered plants, or are they considered like, you know? I have to decide whether to call it a plant or not. Technically, the stat block is not. You know what? I'm sorry. I
don't think it is because they're fungi. They're totally different.
They really are in a taxonomical sense. Taxonomy sense.
I mean, myconids are plants, but I'm not sure what this is.
Yeah. Plus this thing is the fungus is really almost just how the nightmare energy is manifesting. So I think unfortunately it does not count as a plant. However, it did still fail the saving throw. It will still take the 55 necrotic damage, which is a substantial amount. It doesn't make any kind of like a squeal or scream or anything, but there's a lot of hissing and clicking and clattering as it sort of writhes.
Nice. And then for my bonus action, I will whack this dude right in front of my my spiritual weapon.
Okay.
So now I gotta go find my spiritual weapon again. Okay, so yeah, that's not gonna hit.
Oh, one thing to like, I'm shifting the well, you know what? I'm shifting the position of the token just a little bit because I wanted it to be clear that it's primarily staying in the slightly shadowed area there.
Mm-hmm.
13 does not hit, unfortunately, for the
Right.
spiritual weapon.
Okay.
Okay. That's Zaline's turn. Okay, Carolina, it is now your turn. You are prone, but you are conscious.
Okay, well, that was really unpleasant. And I don't like this guy, so we're going to what is the I'm trying to remember what the Harry Potter spell is, but it doesn't matter because I'm casting Otto's irresistible dance on this guy.
Okay. So, as you reach up to cast the spell, there's no saving throw to start, right? It's just works. And so you see, as it had finished this writhing, in pain that it just did from the blight spell, it suddenly starts, and it's clearly dancing to some sort of a rhythm, and it does the worm a little bit. Yeah, so it begins dancing, in it comically capering, I believe is the specific terminology in the spell.
Yep. Yeah, the target begins a comic dance in place, shuffling, tapping its feet, and capering for the duration.
Mm-hmm. And so it gets to make a saving throw on its turn, correct?
Yes, a wisdom saving throw.
All right.
Then is it incapable of movement after this? I mean, other than
I
dancing?
believe
It has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws and attack throws, and while it's affected, other creatures have advantage on attack rolls against it.
Okay.
it's a good
How long
spell.
But
does
it
it
can
last?
move. Okay.
1 minute, and it has
Okay.
to stay in its space dancing.
Mhm.
Blade wall.
Does it get to make another save like on its turn? or
Yeah,
no?
on
On
its
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 turn.
turn, it can make a
Okay.
save.
And can I use my movement to like?
It does
stand
have
up
to use its
and-
action to make the save.
Mhm.
Yes,
Oh,
you
nice.
can use half your movement to stand up. If you want to try to move away, though, it does still get the opportunity to make a disadvantage attack roll against you when you leave its melee range.
Yeah. I really don't like being this close to it.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, it hits pretty hard. So I'm gonna. Actually, do I have? That's probably the action though. Is to like
Disengage
evade,
is an
disengage.
action. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna risk it,
Okay.
and I'm not getting far anyway because it's only half my movement. So I'll only. Get
Well, and you're
2.
not paralyzed, so it's not an auto crit anymore. And
Right.
it's a disadvantage. So let's see. That's a 15.
Nope.
Okay, you are able to evade its flailing attack as you move away.
Kill it! It's gross.
I will let you know that as you moved, that it does have a 10-foot attack range. So, like, you saw how far it could reach as it sort of flailed at you. All right. That makes it Evan's turn.
Okay, he's just gonna attack the guy in front of him again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 23 is going to hit.
Oh, I hit the wrong button. Sorry. All the dice roll up on the thing every time. And that's a 19,
Okay. A 19 also hits.
and that's not going to hit. That's a 13.
Correct. But he does 18 damage to it, which is not bad.
He did not do his second wind.
Okay. It's like, no, it showed up on there. You know, that's the rules. No, yeah, that's fine. So yeah, he's hacking at this thing with his short sword. Okay, great. Nedry.
I think Nedry was calculating, looking over her shoulder. The thing is dancing. Lynn is just sort of sidling away. Okay, she's all right.
Oh, you know what I just realized, that when I had the little ones do their turn, I had the new ones show up, but I didn't roll the attacks for the ones that were out already.
No.
Maybe it's because they were so stunned that the Big Daddy came out.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? That's all right. We'll just keep moving for now. But I'm realizing that I didn't do that. So anyway, in any case, Nedry, it's your turn.
Okay.
Yeah, you will say that they were all sort of weirdly trembling when that thing came out. So, all right, Nedry.
Yeah, I still think it's probably safer. I think Nedry looks at the situation with all these crazy, tall, awful, evil things there, and begins to draw a line. This time circling Ivy as he does usually. Again, kind of stretching the line out to another point, and then the line keeps going, so he circles himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he will cast Vortex Warp twinned on himself and Ivy.
Okay.
And move Ivy up there. And move himself. Sorry, I just dropped it there. Move himself. There's no high ground, is there?
Well, not super nearby.
Yeah, back there.
Okay.
And as a bonus action, he consumes a second level spell.
Okay.
That's
all right.
it.
So now it is Ivy's turn, and she is suddenly like, "Oh, I was going to poke it with the javelin, but all right."
Let's see. So she's back here by me now.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think she's going to, let's see. Yeah, she's going to use the inspiring help on Lynn, since she's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really
well. Reminder too. Although it's not explicit on the sheet, like she has multiple javelins. It's not just the one. So if she does want to make a ranged attack with one, she has a few of them.
All right, then she'll throw a javelin at this guy here because he's the closest. Javelin.
All right.
25.
Yeah, that hits. Okay.
5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It is now the big one's turn, and it has to use its action if it wants to break the spell, and it can't move otherwise. So yeah, I mean that's what it's going to try to do. And it fails. Gets a 9. So it just continues to dance in place. And here's the thing. As much as it's inherently kind of funny to make a horrible creature like this dance, I think it's actually fairly upsetting to behold. Like in the recent It movie when Pennywise is dancing, like it's not fun to watch really. But it does, however, keep this creature from doing other things that would probably be even less fun for now. So but now it is the little one's turn again. I think this one is going to scoot down, and these two are going to pack tactics on Evan. Okay, so that's a 23 to hit for 20 piercing damage.
Okay.
And then claws, 18 to hit for 10 slashing damage. And then a 21 to hit for 8 slashing damage. And then the other one gets a 19 to hit for 12 piercing damage.
Okay.
And a 16 to hit.
Yep.
For,
wait.
Well,
Let me check that again.
Okay.
Nope, that doesn't hit.
Okay. And then last one, a 22 to hit for 11 slashing damage.
Hey. Evan is practically dead again.
Yeah, so those two are definitely going after him. And these ones are charging down. Two of them are pack tactics against Zinhorn, and then that third one is going after you, Zaleen. And they also gets pack tactics because of its ally nearby.
Mm-hmm.
So first, Zinhorn. The first one gets 21 for its bite.
That will hit.
17 piercing damage.
Okay.
16 for the first claw. And
Miss.
then another 16. So that is going to also miss. Now the second one, 14 for the bite.
Nope.
Wow, they're suddenly rolling low even with advantage. And 11. And then a 24 for 7 slashing damage for that last attack.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll take that.
All right. Now, Zaleen, against you, got an 11 for the bite.
Nope.
22 for the first claw.
Yep.
7 slashing damage. And then a 15. For the second
That is
claw.
my armor class right now.
Okay, so that's going to be another 11 slashing damage.
Okay. I'm going to use my Hellish Rebuke.
Okay.
So he takes 25.
Okay, well, so it gets to try to make the dexterity save.
Yep.
It gets a 20, so
Okay.
it's going to take 12 fire damage.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That is the scuttling serpent maws. Is the text box name for these nightmare funguses. All right. That's those. So Zinhorn, it's your turn.
Alrighty, let's get the Cuisinart out, because there's a whole bunch of these guys right here, all in a line to this guy without hitting any of my allies.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to cast at 7th level. It's Blade Barrier.
Okay.
I can't cast that with a 7th level slot. I can only cast it with a 6th.
Well, I think there are some spells that just don't have any, they don't have any additional benefit for casting them higher. So you can use a 7th level slot. It just doesn't change the spell. Like the spell is not any different than if you cast it with a lower slot.
Okay, so Blade Barrier.
Okay.
Straight wall up to 100 feet long, 20 feet high, and 5 feet thick.
Okay.
And they will take.
Come on.
It's a Dex 16 saving throw, and they will take 60-10.
Okay, and I believe they do that on their turn?
33 points.
Okay, hold on. So
Okay.
I believe that they do that on their turn if they start their turn in the area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that wall erupts into place, filling it with swirling blades, spectral blades. All right, nice work. Well,
And
we'll see how it goes, but
yep.
I mean, that certainly seems like it's going to be helpful.
Right. And then for my bonus action, my spiritual weapon is going to attack the southernmost one.
Okay.
This one down here. I'm in the wrong thing. This guy down there. And so that is going to be a 13.
A 13 won't hit, unfortunately.
Oh well.
All right. Zaleen, you're up.
Did we rule before that we can't see through the blade wall?
I think, yeah.
It's 3/4 cover according to the
Oh,
spell.
okay. Well, in that case, yeah. So I would say you could target a creature that, like, if it just requires you to be able to see it, but an attack roll would have 3/4 cover.
Okay. So I'm going to, since it worked so well last time, I'm going to cast Blight on the big guy again at level 4.
Okay. So it makes another Constitution saving throw. It gets a 10.
Okay, so it takes 37.
Nice.
And then for my bonus action, I'm going to cast Healing Word.
You can't cast.
Oh no,
another,
I can't. Yeah, I
Mhm.
can't. Never mind. I was just my brain.
Oh, no problem. No.
I will use my spiritual weapon to hit this guy right here.
Gotcha. Like to see you try.
Yeah, right.
Because then
Through
maybe
the blades.
you'll do it and you'll squish this awful little monster.
All right. Oh, come on.
See, this raises an interesting question, though. Like, I'm going to rule that it does. You got damage there without the attack roll. There you go. A 14 doesn't hit. But one of the things that just I think is an interesting question is if we just ruled that the wall of blades represents like 3/4 cover, how does that work when you are not within the wall, but both the spiritual weapon, which is making the attack, and the target are? Like, is that attack roll require add the cover or not? Because I feel like because you are not within it and you're controlling the spiritual weapon,
right,
and you can kind of see where it is because it's only partly in the wall, I would rule that it doesn't, but I think it's an interesting question. I could see people rule the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's your turn. Anything else for your turn?
Nope.
All right. Carolina, your turn.
So I can't figure out how to make a cone shape on the map.
Yeah, the drawing tools don't easily make a cone shape. What is it that you're wanting to do?
I wanted to see how many I could get with prismatic spray.
Okay.
But I need to know where I should be to do that.
Well, I think the trouble you're going to have right now is how to get any of them without getting your friends to.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's a 60-foot cone.
Yeah. So the short version of how to do a cone is that for as many squares away from you as it is, the cone should be that many squares wide, right? So, like, the square right next to you is just that square. And then when it's 2 squares, it's sort of like, once it gets to 3 squares away, it's 3 squares across, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how you do the cone on the grid. But, like, what would you be trying to catch with the prismatic spray?
Well, it was mostly I want to hit the big guy, but
mm-hmm. Well, I think it would be easy enough to hit the big one, but
yeah.
But the others, your friends, are kind of all right there in with them.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get them
unless you moved all the way down and tried to do it from the bottom upward.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work.
No.
So that's fine. Because I'm gonna try this anyway.
Okay.
Because it's cool. So it is a dexterity saving throw, which I believe
Just on
he
the
has
big one?
disadvantage on.
Yeah, he would.
And then I have to roll a d8 to determine which.
So I rolled the dexterity save with disadvantage. The first one was a crit, and the second one was a 7.
All right, so that's a 3, and a 3 is.
Oh, it's interesting that the automatic roll actually rolls damage for any of the different kinds that it might be, and then gives you a total of all of them. But I don't think how that spell actually works.
Yeah, it says I have to roll a d8
to see which damage type it is, right?
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out. For each target, roll a d8 to determine which color ray may affect it. But then it doesn't say.
Because if there's more than one target in the spray, they might take different kinds of damage, right? I think that's what it is. Yeah, and
so there's a table below for the different kinds of damage too.
Yeah. So you rolled a 3 for the d8. That means
would that be yellow?
Yeah, so it's going to take the lightning
because they're not
damage.
Numbered. They don't have numbers associated with them. They're just listed in an order.
They have numbers where I'm seeing the number
really?
They're in an order with the numbers. So the first one is red. It's 1.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
So it's a yellow.
So it takes the lightning damage, which rolled as a 26 lightning damage. Looks like. Nice.
Yep.
All right.
Man, it would have been really cool to get indigo on that one.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, this thing has taken a fair amount of damage already, especially with those 2 big blight spells, and now that, and it's getting ready to get some wall of blades damage too.
I totally forgot that I have inspiring help.
Okay.
And it says I can add it to the damage.
Yeah.
A 1d6.
Sure. Go ahead. All right. Another 3 damage.
Yay.
Hey,
every little bit helps.
Take them where you can get them, for sure. Okay.
She just adjusted my angle just a little bit.
Sure. All right. And anything else for your turn?
I am going to hit Zaleen with Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
And we're going to move it along, so just keep going.
All right. So that makes it Evan's turn.
So because of Wall of Blades, he can't really reach in there and hit one that he's been attacking.
I think that the 2 there, they're partly in it and partly out of it. So I think he can attack them without difficulty.
Okay, so he's just going to go for the one right in front of him.
Okay.
And that's not going to hit, is it?
A 16 just misses. These things are very skittery and like they've got a bizarre shape to them and they move real fast.
That's
an 18 will hit, yeah.
And yeah, that one's not gonna hit.
Unfortunately no. Okay. So that's his turn?
No, he's gonna do his second wind to get get some hit points too.
Not a bad idea. Okay. Yeah. Nedry, you're next.
Okay.
I almost forgot where you were on the map there for a second.
Nicely away. Zinhorn, Zaleen, Evan, be ready to back up.
And he'll focus his energy. A little bluish white glow forms around him as he consumes a first level spell.
Okay.
And then something new. He draws a sort of caricature of a snail, and then draws a fence in the visual area that he can. To cast Slow.
Nice.
Slow will catch all 6 of the creatures.
Ooh. Okay.
He will heighten the slow to give the big bad a disadvantage on his saving throw.
Okay. So what saving throw is that?
It is a Wisdom 18 difficulty.
Okay. So the big one, um, wow, the big one succeeds. It got a 20 even with disadvantage.
Okay.
Which is a lot better than what it's been doing trying to get rid of the dancing.
Can I
Um,
react to that?
I I guess. What are you wanting?
No, sorry, it's a first level spell, so I can't.
Okay.
Never mind.
All right, and then the wisdom saves for the little ones from left to right. 22, 17, 10, 16, 14. What's this? What were they
It's an
targeting?
18, so the 22
Okay.
is the only one that made it.
All right. And so 5 of them are slowed, which means they can't take reactions, I think, right?
So it's a combination of things. They got a -2 penalty to AC and dexterity saving throws. They can't use reactions. And on their turn, they can either use an action or a bonus action, but not both.
Right.
And regardless of the creature's abilities or magic items, it can't make more than one melee or ranged attack during its turn.
Nice.
It does get to save at the end of its turn for another
Right,
wisdom
right.
save.
But that's pretty substantial, especially with 3 of those about to make a dexterity save.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, move away. So that's his end of his. Yep, that's the end of his turn. So he's used that
Okay.
bonus.
Ivy's turn.
Yeah. Let's see. She's pretty far from everyone,
Mm-hmm.
but she'll throw another javelin.
Okay.
Um,
At one of the little ones.
yeah, this guy here.
Yeah. Yep. Sure.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay.
And
That one's temporarily easier to hit because it's slowed. That definitely hits. She sticks a javelin in
6.
it. All right.
And then she'll, as her bonus action, she'll do the inspiring help for me again.
Okay. Nice. Okay. It is now the big one's turn. The skittering horror, because that you have to be careful to say that one too, because otherwise it sounds like I'm saying a different thing. Yeah. So it is first going to make a dexterity save with disadvantage because of the dancing against the blade wall. Gets a 15, which I believe does not save. Correct. It needed a 16, so that is 33 slashing damage for it from the blade wall.
Well, it's still dancing, right? Can it?
It can't move.
Right. It has to use
dancing
all of
in
its
place.
movement to dance.
In place.
Right. And which gives
Right.
it disadvantage on the dexterity save. And so
disadvantage as
now,
well. Okay.
and
Gotcha.
now it's going to try to use its action to break the spell. But even if it does, it's still going to be in that spot. So it's probably going to get the blade wall again next turn. I think that's right. Let's see. Just when it makes. So as its action. Let's see. As an action. You know what? I take it back because it's using. It doesn't say it's not a save at the end of its turn. It is attempting to make the save by using its action. So I think it would still have its movement if it succeeds. But let's see if it succeeds. It just used its good rolls trying to beat the slow. Well, succeeding in beating the slow, but okay. So gets a 4. So yeah, it is still dancing. Which means that not only can it still not do anything else, but it is still in the blade wall, and it is looking substantially hurt compared to before. All right. Very good, everyone. Okay, so now we've got the little guys, these scuttling serpent moths. We got 3 of them making dexterity saves for the wall. 1 of them making it straight. 2 with this. No, not. It's
just -2.
just -2. Okay, so
It's a weird
first one straight. Critical fail. So that's going to take 33 damage, which isn't enough to completely destroy it, but it's not good. And then the other 2, one rolls an 8, so that's definitely failing no matter what. Then a 20, which even -2 is going to succeed. So the first one's taking the full amount. Also not completely down, but very, very bad. The other one only
And then
takes.
there's one at the end. He rolled a what? Sorry.
It rolled rolled a 20, and then -2 is still an 18.
Rolled a natural 20.
It rolled a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Nedry
Minus
will
2.
react
Okay.
with a little fiddly magical energy to cast silvery barbs to force it to re-roll
Okay.
and grant advantage to Zinhorn.
All right. Okay. So let's give it one more roll then. Yeah. So that it came up a 13. So -2 would be an 11, which would fail. So that's another. Okay. That one. That one hadn't taken any damage yet, so it's a little better off than the other two, but they all take a fair amount. They are definitely all going to try to move out of that space, though. Yeah, is that kosher? The moving between two? Yeah, I think it is, right?
Did they take opportunity attacks?
No, well, they're not moving out. They don't. No, you don't take
Oh.
opportunity attacks from the wall of blades. It's not
okay.
conscious, right? It's
Well, right, but from us as they go past.
no, because they're still in the melee range.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they didn't leave your melee range, so they can move around you. So none of them have moved to a place where they're no longer in melee range from the people that they were before. I mean, so the only one that I was kind of hesitating on is the moving in between diagonally, but I feel like that's I'm gonna say that one's
reasonable.
okay. Yeah, they didn't have to move through a square directly because the diagonal doesn't count as that. So, but now we got two of them still trying to go against Evan. But one of them can only make one attack. So I'll do that one first. Still gets advantage from the pack tactics. And that's a 17 to hit against Evan. Which I believe hits.
That's his armor class, yep.
Okay, so that's 17 piercing damage.
Okay.
The other one only gets a 7 for its bite, even with advantage. But then the claws... 21 to hit for 8 damage.
Evan is unconscious.
Oh no. And then it uses its other claw to get him on the ground, which he's going to fail a saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then the other ones, you've got two of them going against you, Zinhorn.
Okay.
They're both just making their bite attack, but they are still both doing it with advantage because they're slowed. 18 to hit.
Miss.
What's your AC right now? It's a higher
20.
Okay. Oh, right. Yeah, you've got the plate armor equivalent plus a shield. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. And then the other one only gets a 13, so they both miss. And then the last one against Zaleen, it's trying to bite you.
Mm-hmm.
Gets a 21 to hit.
Yep.
For 17 piercing damage.
Hellish Rebuke.
Okay. And it makes a dex save.
Yeah.
18.
So he only takes half, so it'll be 13.
Yeah, that's still pretty good. Okay, so now the 4 that are slowed get to repeat their save, correct? Is it Constitution save, Nedry?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay, so first one, 5 fails. 16. What's
Fails.
Yes, and
18.
then 8 and 5. Yeah, so all of the slowed ones are still slowed. Okay. Zinhorn, you're up.
Okay. I am right next to Evan. So I am going to cast some healing on Evan. Cure wounds on him.
Okay.
And he will get 35 back.
Okay.
And then for my bonus action, I will move my spiritual weapon over here, and I will attack that one.
Gotcha.
And I got a 15.
A 15 misses, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Ironically, it would have hit one of the
does-
slowed ones, but
Does your it is your attack, and you do have an advantage from the
oh yeah, you do from the silvery barbs. So
From
you
the
can
silvery barbs.
roll that one more time for your advantage.
23.
There you go. That hits.
Alrighty. 15 points.
All right, that one is destroyed.
Woohoo!
and you also notice the others are moving slowly, and Nedry told you to run, but it's up to you.
Yes, well,
Because
I
they
needed
can't
to
they,
make
they can't do opportunity.
They can't take
attacks.
reactions.
right, but I needed to get Evan up first.
Mm-hmm.
And he's back up now, right?
Yeah.
So I could move.
Yeah. Fair is fair in terms of the diagonal movement. I just said that one of them could do it, so you could do it to where Zaleen was. You can't move through their square, but you could move through that diagonal, and assuming that Zaleen would let you through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So
Okay. So Zaleen, now it's your turn. Zinhorn just brushed by.
Hi, Zinhorn. So I have all
Hi.
these guys in front of me. Can I like cast through them, or do I need to focus on them?
Well, I mean, you tell me what you're wanting to do.
Well, I mean, Light seems to be doing a really good job on that big guy.
I mean, so he would have the equivalent of the oh, well, that's the saving throw one. So, I mean, you can do that, yeah. But you
Okay.
could also move first because they can't do opportunity attacks.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we were just saying because they're slowed.
Right.
Mhm.
So I will move over right here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Blight again.
All right.
So it's,
Constitution again, correct?
yep.
19 this time.
So it
Okay.
takes half. It's
All right.
36.
So
Which
it's
is
18.
18.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. That is your turn. So, Carolina.
So something that I constantly am worried about, and I don't think we've really concentrated on it much, but it's this Badunme deck, and I'm supposed to use the Twist of Fate property once every 7 days.
Yes.
So trying to decide, I think because the big guy here already has so many disadvantages on him, I am going to use Wheel
Okay.
on Evan because he's not looking well.
All right.
He's struggling.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
So-
And then I have to roll a percentage dice, right?
Yes. So, the wheel effect basically remind me what that does.
The creature has advantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws for the next hour.
Nice. Okay.
All right.
He's
See
just
if I
suddenly
release something.
like
Are you fucking kidding me?
He sits up. Oh my! So wait. Okay, wait. So let's remind each other of the way this works.
I'd rather not.
Okay. So let's see.
So that's what, 2 for 2 now?
Well, because the other time I was trapping something in the deck, so
Oh, right.
Like it
Yeah.
switched places.
So let me. Yeah. um. So let me pull up. I want to make sure I'm
The
reading.
released nightmare appears at a random location within 10d10 miles of you and terrorizes the living. Until the released nightmare is destroyed, it gains the benefit of Wheel from the Dex Twist of Fate property, and both you and the original target of Twist of Fate suffer the effects of woe. Awesome!
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see. Yeah.
Great.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
So here's the thing. Recall that the slightly enhanced version gives you the choice of letting it appear in a random location nearby in a general sense, or you can have it appear right here, right now, which at least allows you to try to deal with it as opposed to letting it do who knows what while you
Try to
don't
track
right
it
now.
down.
Yeah.
God. Okay. Well, the last time it kind of made a mess.
We are in the Feywild.
Yeah. But I don't think that's going to do us any favors with the people that we're trying to get favors from. So yeah, I'm going to plop him down right here.
Okay, so give me just a moment here.
Who gave me this thing? Whose idea was that?
All right, I have to decide which one comes out. Hold on, just a moment.
Need a drink.
All right. So let's see. Yeah, I think that's not a bad one. Okay.
She says with a smile.
Well, so part of it is that I need something that I can if I can have a token for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So I will say in this context, because of the effect of this, you can choose where it appears if you're doing it nearby. We'll say it needs to be within 30 feet. But you can pick specifically where.
Yep, he is going here.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Please don't be something that can fly.
All right. So a strange, weird alien torso with all sorts of bizarre little tentacle things appears. And were you trying to have it like be partly in the wall? The wall of blades?
Behind it is where because that was 30 feet was behind it. And I was like, as far away from me as possible.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, it'll have to do something with that wall.
So what happens to Evan now since it failed?
No, he still gets the benefit. It's
Well, no, it gives woe to both the
Yeah.
target and
Yeah.
the
oh
wielder.
wait. Okay.
And the creature just got wheel instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, this is crazy. Do it again.
Okay. So let's see. Let's have it roll initiative with advantage.
This is what happens when you give a character with 12 intelligence and 10 wisdom a powerful magic.
Well, okay, to be fair, the odds of this were not good. You just rolled unfortunately.
No, but it's happened twice.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. All right. So
does that mean that he makes his attacks with disadvantage?
Disadvantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws for the next hour.
Like I felt great for a
until
second.
It's destroyed.
I felt great for a second. Now I don't feel so good anymore.
Yeah, he's just over there. He's
so
like, "Damn it, Carolina!"
And remember, he is still literally prone on the ground from getting knocked unconscious and then healed. and then
Yeah.
suddenly feeling supercharged, and now feeling super drained.
I
He's
think
just laying there, it's like, wow, it's a roller coaster.
I think as a small saving grace, the woe and wheel are only an hour, like their original effects.
Yeah.
But not when you release a thing.
No, it
It's-
just says you suffer the effect of woe, not but that would the effect of woe would be
Hold
an
on.
hour's worth of disadvantage. So
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Isn't it until it's destroyed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The normal
oh,
thing
So it
would,
could
I was
be
would
thinking, I was
for an
thinking those
hour.
were separate clauses, but no,
Yeah.
you're right.
Until the release
Sorry.
nightmare is destroyed.
Okay, all right. So that was Carolina's turn. Did you have anything else for your turn?
Yeah. Kind of cursing myself and be like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm gonna toss him a bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
Because that sucked. I'm
He's
so
gonna need
sorry.
it. Is that a D12 now?
D10.
D10.
All right, so it is now Evan's turn. He does need to stand up with half his movement, but the enemy by him is still slowed, so no opportunity attacks.
Okay, so he gets up and
A little wobbly.
yeah, he doesn't feel very good. But he's gonna go ahead and try to make his attacks
Mhm.
anyway.
Sure.
But at disadvantage.
Yeah.
So
But he has a bardic inspiration, so maybe
He does, yeah.
oh
So that first roll is pretty good, but with disadvantage, let's
yeah. Natural 20 and a 19, but his 19 counts as an automatic
see.
crit.
It does. So he gets a crit even with disadvantage, technically.
Yeah. So
All right. So
he rolls, what is it, another
Uh,
D6?
well, yeah. So whatever. So roll another d6 on top of 6.
Okay.
And he can use
It's a
the
1.
Okay.
he can use the bardic inspiration to add to attack.
However, that is
healing.
actually enough, though, to destroy that one that he was just attacking.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Mm-hmm.
And
All
then
right, yay!
he will use 5 feet of his movement and
Mhm.
come over and start wailing on this guy
Mm-hmm.
right in the middle. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right.
So yeah, do the disadvantage roll, and then maybe the bardic inspiration can still make it. That first roll is pretty good.
I don't know what that one is.
Oh
21
wow!
and a
Okay,
25.
yeah. So he's yeah. So that's still 7 damage. Although that one actually hadn't been hurt yet, so that one's still up.
Okay, and then the last one is that guy. 27.
Wow, he's getting all the good rolls now that he has disadvantage on everything.
Right. And
Wow.
21.
Okay. He hits all 3
Nice.
times with disadvantage, including a crit.
Oh, Evan's pissed.
Yeah.
He's mad.
Yeah. Okay, so he has 10 feet of movement left, and Nedry had asked that you all get out of the way.
Yeah, he's gonna back up over here
Mm-hmm.
as best he can.
Yeah. Okay, that is Evan's turn. Nedry.
Oh, sorry, I had a phone call. I didn't know if I had made my turn or not. What? Why? Where? How? And look over at Lynn. What? No.
Refresh my memory what this new thing does.
Yeah.
Nothing good for us.
I think.
Oh, you know what actually happens before your turn? Is that this new thing that just appeared suddenly disappears from where it was and appears right next to you, Lynn. And
Oh boy.
yeah. And so that is before Nedry's turn.
Uh-huh. Probably looking over at that. Oh, it's way over there. No, where did he go? God. There's too much to do. So few spell slots left.
I was so ready for this encounter to be almost over, and then
Yeah.
we changed it up again.
I think that Nedry will kind of look over there and then kind of look back to the creatures he's sort of attacked.
Mm-hmm.
and cast a spell.
Okay.
And from the end of his pen goes flying a small little shard of ice that grows in size until it lands here.
Okay.
This is an attack roll, and I will roll that. Let's see, and it is upcast to no, not that high. What? Oh, good, second level. I was like, I don't think I. All right, sorry. Yeah, this one it's at a -2 AC, and I
Mhm.
have the 1d6 inspiring help. Does that stay around for a while until I use it, or is it in the
Uh,
next round?
I think technically it's supposed to be for the next attack because it's supposed to represent Ivy helping you in
Okay,
that
it is the
round.
first attack he's made from
Yeah,
since then, but
yeah,
okay,
but it's
no problem. I
yeah.
just wanted to know.
Mechanically, it's supposed to represent her giving you the help action.
So a dirty 20 to hit the central one,
Okay, that hits.
and that does one. Let's see, 1d10 piercing damage. So
Okay.
9 piercing damage.
Mm-hmm.
Then it explodes,
Yeah.
and the 3 creatures near it within 5 feet must make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, let's do that.
And I'm casting this at second level, so
So the first one gets a crit, so even -2, it's still a dirty 20.
okay,
And then a 19, and then a 13.
okay.
So I think only that last one fails.
It's a 15, so yeah, only the last one fails,
Mm-hmm.
and it would be 3d6 cold damage, so 11 cold damage.
Okay. Do the others take any, or just that's
I don't think they take any if they succeed.
okay? All right, that one is looking pretty rough, but it's not completely down.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah. I think Nedry's going to move. How deep or thick is that water? Am I on the wrong side of the water?
Yeah, you are. I think it's not terribly deep. It's like there's a current to it, but it's probably only like, well, you're short though. I was just gonna say
Yeah.
it's like maybe 2 and 3 feet deep, but that's kind of like up to your. But you
I
can.
think
It's
I think
only as
he'll
far
just
across as it is, though. I think you could
he'll
jump
just
it.
edge a little bit to kind of see clearly what's over there, and then
Okay.
realize that Lynn it's now beside Lynn,
Yeah.
and let out a little telepathic eep, and I think that's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Um. All right. So that is Nidri's turn. And it is now the Balhanath's turn, which is our newcomer.
Sweet. So
Um.
excited.
Yeah. So it's going to attack you with a tentacle, Carolina. And it got a 24 to hit.
Yep.
So that's going to be 9 bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled. Let's see. And then it's going to make another tentacle attack against Ivy. And gets a 26 to hit. She's going to take 12 bludgeoning damage, and it pulls her 5 feet closer. And then it's going to try to bite Lynn, I think. And gets a 22 to hit. For 21 piercing damage.
Who was that to me?
Yeah.
To me or
yeah,
to Ivy?
To you.
21, you said?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, it has grappled both Ivy and Carolina, and it's chomped on Carolina a little bit, and that is its turn. So it is now Ivy's turn.
Okay.
She can try to break the grapple if she wants.
Yeah, I have to look at one more thing first. Okay. So yeah, it's a strength saving throw.
Well, it can be acrobatics or athletics, or dex or strength if and it's a check, not a saving throw.
Okay. Dex check. Okay.
Okay,
Woo.
yeah. So she succeeds. She's
That's
able
a
to.
natural 20.
Yeah, she's able to wrest herself free from the tentacle's grasp.
Okay. So that's her action, right?
Mhm.
Bonus action. Uh, bonus action. So can she it says on its turn in combat. Okay, that's its turn.
So she had to use
Yeah.
her action to break the grapple. So she
Mhm.
has bonus actions and movement still, but that's it.
Yeah. So she has cunning action is listed under bonus actions.
Oh, okay, yeah. So because she's an expert, right?
So that's dash, disengage, or hide.
Right. Yeah. So she
Um,
could disengage and move away if she wanted.
Yeah, she gonna do that.
Makes sense.
And then she'll go. What's her movement? 20. 1, 2,
She can fly.
4.
Yep.
Yeah, can she just take off or does it require her an action?
No, she
Or
can
does it-
fly. Yeah. She has
Okay.
a fly speed.
Yeah. Again, her fly speed is 50.
Mhm.
Okay, so she's gonna fly.
Fly, fly, fly.
Let's see, how many did she go? Did she go 4? She was here. 1, 2.
Yeah, so she's. I mean,
Four.
I'm not too picky in this particular context. I'd say
Yeah.
just put her where you
All
want
right.
her.
She's gonna fly over here.
All right. Okay, and so at the end of her turn, the Balhanath is going to make another legendary action, and it's going to disappear again with Lynn and appear over here.
Great.
Actually, that might be a little bit too far. Let me. Nope, perfect. All right. Okay, so that makes it now the Skittering Horror's turn. It is going to make a dexterity check with disadvantage because it is still in the blade wall and it is still dancing. Wow, got a crit on the first, but with disadvantage, that's still only an 11. So it's going to roll your blade wall damage again, Zinhorn.
Okay. I was gonna ask you about that.
All right. Oh, you know what? I actually rolled the wrong. That was, well, I'll go by what the dice roll. I rolled the wrong thing, but I'll use those dice rolls still, so it would have only been a +1 more. It doesn't make a difference. So 37
Okay.
slashing damage.
37.
All right. And it is looking very, very rough. And it is going to try once more to break free from this dancing spell desperately. And it finally gets a 21.
Damn it.
And so it's going to use its movement to move out. You know what? It's going to use its movement to move out of the wall, but it's going to do it this way. Because it is moving so actually what is its intelligence? Yeah, it is desperately pressing the attack despite its extreme injuries. Okay, but it had to use its actions to break free of the dance, so it is not able to attack this turn. But after its turn, the Balhanath is going to use its last legendary action of the round to bite Carolina again. That's a 22 to hit for 19 piercing damage. All right.
Yep. Still up, but not by much.
Okay. Now we have the turn of these little guys who remember them? Remember when they were
Wait.
scary for a second? You were you asking?
Okay.
What?
Oh, yeah. I just Carolina's over with the new monster.
Yep. It
Yeah,
teleported
okay.
to her and then grabbed her and then teleported away. Ivy just
okay.
barely avoided being taken with them. All right, so these did Ivy land or was she still in the air?
She's still in the air.
All right. I think she can't hover. I think she does need to land, but if that would change where you want to put her, then that's fine.
Yeah, probably closer to Zinhorn.
Yeah. All right. So in any case, these three only have half movement because they're slowed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're all gonna go after Zaleen. And they all have just their bite attack. They're still making it with advantage because they are pack tactics. So bite 1, 16 to hit.
Yep.
23 piercing damage. Bite 2, 20 to hit for 20 piercing damage. And then bite 3, 18 to hit for 20 piercing damage.
You don't have any more hellish rebukes?
Oh, I'm going to use it right now.
Okay. On which one?
Let me look at them. The one in the middle, like right here.
All right.
Yeah. So
that is the one that is healthiest of the three.
Well, he won't be anymore.
All right. Wow.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
17 dex or
okay. Yeah, it fails the saving throw, so that's 20
points.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely less healthy. Now. All right. So that is its turn. Okay. The Balhaneth is going to bite you again, Carolina. But it only got a 12 this time.
How is it still able to bite me? It
has legendary actions.
Oh, okay. I thought it was done with those.
Well, it's the new start of the new round.
Okay.
Yeah.
It didn't hit me. All right.
Yeah. So Zinhorn, you're up.
Carolina is in need of help.
I can get myself out, but it's a matter of staying alive to do that.
Just to be sure, like concentration spells, Zinhorn's concentrating on the blade wall, but that's it right now, right? Oh, and Nedry on the slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So Zinhorn.
I am going to slam my holy symbol on the ground and call out, Roshana, heal my ally.
Okay.
And give Lynn another 65 hit points.
Sweet.
All right.
And my spiritual weapon will move.
Did that wait? So what was the range of that? Was it? Is it? She's within 60 feet.
Oh, the range of that.
I think we checked it the last time, but I don't remember what it.
Within 30 feet of me.
Yeah, so you would have to get closer.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to.
I think if you get just right up to the edge of the wall, the blade wall.
I can drop the wall. They're all out of it.
All right, yeah. So if you drop the wall, then that's easy.
Yeah. I drop the wall. I move up here. Is that close enough?
Yeah. Well, you get where if 30 feet of movement, you were 60 feet away, so.
Yeah.
So I think that square is not close enough, but you could have gotten one square closer.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There
So
you go.
you get 65 points, and I am going to do my spiritual weapon. Come on, you stupid machine. 18. Are we at advantage to attack these guys because they're slowed?
No, but they have a penalty to their AC, so
Yeah,
easier to
-2
hit
AC.
them. Yeah,
Okay, so I got an 18 to hit.
that hits. The middle one, or the one on the right.
Hold on. The middle one.
Okay, 15 damage. It's not down, but it's extremely damaged.
Okay.
Okay. All three. Well, let's see. The two bottom ones are extremely damaged. The higher one there is a little better off, but still pretty hurt. Okay. That is the end of Zinhorn's turn. Yeah. Okay. That'll. Yeah. That will do it for Zinhorn's turn. Zaleen, you're up.
I don't have a lot of options here, so I am going to expend 2 charges of my skin
Mm-hmm.
and cast the 30-foot murder ribbons around this guy
Okay.
because I really don't have a lot of other options.
Well, so just if it makes any difference, it looks extremely hurt.
Good.
Yeah. So, but that's still what you do.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And then
just as a reminder, the 3 that are slowed don't have reactions, so can't take attack of opportunity.
right. So I'm gonna deal with
remind
that
me,
in
is it a
second.
30-foot radius or?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then let me
Perfect.
put it in the right spot. All right.
Okay, and then for my bonus action, can I take the tower out and toss it to Zinhorn and yell "Get Buster"?
No, I think you would need to use an action. It's essentially to use a magic item.
I'm not going to use it. I was going to throw it to Zinhorn, so he can do it on his turn because I can't handle Buster. I mean, it would still have to go the whole rest of the round before he could do it.
I think. How about this? I will let you make the equivalent of a ranged attack roll to toss it in a hurry.
Could I just walk over to him and give it to him?
Well,
I mean, if I could walk around.
You said you were throwing it. So
I didn't think of that until afterwards.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use that movement to give him the tower.
Okay, fair. So I would say essentially what you do, you can get it out and you can have it in your hand, and then he can take it. You know,
he can grab it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
If because being next to him is different than trying to throw something to him. All right.
Right.
Okay, so that's Zaleen's turn. And then after your turn, the Bahanath is going to try to bite you one more time.
Zaleen, your spiritual weapon is still up. You can still move it and attack.
That's true. You haven't really been using it.
Yeah.
Have you been doing other things with your bonus action?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can move it 20 feet, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
The Bahanath got a 13 to hit.
So can I move it up and hit the Balhanath?
You can move it 4 squares. So yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I will do that.
I think not there. That's in its space, but that'll do it.
Yeah. All right. 23.
Okay, that hits.
$11.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. And then technically the bite that I just had it do was supposed to be after Zaleen's turn. So it's your turn now, Carolina.
All right. So I wanted to dimension door myself out of here because it's vocal only.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go. I want to go her.
All right.
All right. And then.
I'll spread it out, so I need to zoom the map out. Okay.
So. Hold on. I need to read this real fast.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to use my mandolin.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use my mandolin to cast a spell, or does that include?
I mean, the dimension door was an action, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So well, fine. I will use my bardic inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
and I will like hiss some curse words in Elven at that nightmare, which will count for unsettling words.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh wait, or maybe I can't.
I think that's a reaction thing that you do when it's attacking, right?
No, it's like the reverse of bardic inspiration, but it's too far away, so I
Okay.
can't do that. So never mind. Yeah, I think that's about all I can do.
All right.
Bummer, but I'm free for the moment.
All right. After you do that, it disappears again, and you don't see it reappear. All right. Evan's turn.
Okay. He is going to jump across, and he's going to attack this one. All right. That's a 24.
Okay. Yeah. Which one is he hitting?
The middle one.
All right. Yeah. 24 hits.
Natural 20.
Nice.
So
that first one, yeah. The second one, he cuts it in half. That second attack.
right. So that's what, 2? An extra 2?
Well, right, but I'm saying it had one hit point left. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was
so that's all right.
confused.
Yeah. So the second attack kills it, regardless
Okay.
of how much hit points it was. But yeah. So he has his third attack. He killed that one.
Okay, and then he is going to just hit that one.
All right. Okay, 25 hits for 8 damage. Okay. 8. Oh, sorry.
That's his turn.
Okay. All right. And then it's Nedry's turn.
Okay. Not seeing that thing again. So I don't think we see it anymore. Like it just vanished, right?
Yeah. It. I think to your eyes, what it did was turn invisible.
Oh, great. That's fun.
Like,
All right.
because you've seen it teleport. This time it looked different. It looked like it was turning invisible.
Okay. Stay frosty, and he'll flick his finger and point it at this guy and cast a ray of frost.
All right.
It's a 15 to hit.
15 hits because it's slowed.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
And it would be 14 points of cold damage.
Yep, you freeze that one solid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
Okay. So then, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I can do.
Okay. Does a 16 to hit you, Nedry?
If I don't see it coming, yep.
Yeah. Because this is an attack from an invisible creature.
Yeah.
As the tentacle suddenly wraps itself around you. Oh wait, you know what? I rolled the wrong thing, but the die roll result should be the same. Um, yes, as the tentacle wraps around you, the thing becomes visible again. It is managed to get itself all the way over here. It only does 7 bludgeoning damage to you, pulls you
Okay.
5 feet closer, and it has you grappled. And then that is, um, and then it's going to try to bite you, but only gets a 12 to hit.
Not enough.
Uh-huh.
Wait 1 second here. I fail my save, so the
Oh
spell
no!
goes.
The slow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, So all of you see where the thing went now, and you see it because it. In fact, actually, I think what you see is Nedry had been standing up on that little log, and I think those of you who had eyes on him see the tentacle suddenly around him, and you see him yanked backwards over the side of it. So I think technically you don't have eyes on him right now. Because they're down. You're down in this little hollow. Okay, that is its turn. So, Ivy's turn.
All right. Ivy is gonna go up in the air again, and she's gonna go like here and toss a javelin at that guy
All
that
right.
just hit
Mhm.
Nedry.
Yeah.
Ooh. 24.
That hits. All right.
6 damage.
Yep. Takes it. Okay.
And then her bonus action, she will turn back to Carolina and be like, "Help us! We have to do something. Help him."
It's a little presumptuous to speak for Ivy, don't you think? No, I'm kidding. Okay, great. So now it is the skittering horror's turn, and it's stuck in Zalene's shadow ball. So it is a strength saving throw or strength check at disadvantage. Is that what it's doing?
Yeah. It's a DC 17 strength.
Always trying to remember my own dumb homebrew rules that I put into this item that I made for you. All right. Whoa. Okay. Well, first roll is a crit, so we'll see how the second one. Second is a 17. Is that 17 is the
Yep.
save you just said, right? Okay.
Yep. But that's all he can do on that.
Right.
On his
So
turn,
he uses action, but is able to break out of the. We'll say he does that out of the sphere, but that's his whole turn.
Mhm.
Okay. The one remaining little guy here no longer gets his pack tactics, but he's also no longer slowed, so he's attacking Evan. With the bite, gets a 16 to hit.
Yep.
That does hit.
Oh wait, no, that doesn't hit.
Yeah, I was
Nope.
going to say, didn't think so. All right, and then the claws, a 13 and a 6. So yeah, it misses. All right. And Nedry, this thing's going to try again to bite you. Chomp, but it gets a critical fail.
Woot.
Yeah. Okay. It bites its own tentacle a little bit and takes 1 point of damage.
We'll take it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Zinhorn, your turn.
Okay. Are the little ones dead?
There's one left.
Is it like seriously hurt?
Yeah.
I'm gonna move my spiritual weapon up, and my bonus action first. I will roll a natural 1.
Oh, that's not gonna work.
Get a 9. That's not gonna hit.
Are you gonna get Buster?
You think we need Buster? I
I
can.
don't know.
Well, I'm standing in water right this second,
Well, we
so
need all the help we can get.
I move over here and put down the tower and go inside to get Buster.
Okay. All right. So you are temporarily inside the tower. I'll reflect that with the little yellow dot there. Okay. Zaleen, your turn. This thing is staring you down again.
Good. I'm gonna walk up to it and touch it, and I'm gonna use vampiric touch.
Okay.
Oh my
Let's
god.
see the attack roll.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
It was on the 20 and it like went over
Aw.
6.
Okay, so unfortunately a 14 isn't enough to hit, but the spell is still up. So you don't have to cast it again.
Right.
But that doesn't hit, unfortunately.
Okay, and then I don't think it would get close enough to do spiritual weapon.
Actually, technically, yeah. So it is a
Oh.
huge creature, so it fills the 3x3 square, even though the shape of it, like it's not as obviously filling those spots. But yes, technically that is close enough.
His knee is gonna get it.
Yeah.
All right.
If you can hit him anyway, we'll see.
Why does it do that?
I don't know.
Okay. No, it's not.
Okay, unfortunately, no. Yeah. Okay. That is your turn, right? Carolina, your turn.
Well, my luck has not been super great, but I'm gonna try this. Hold on. I'm gonna cast polymorph on the nightmare guy.
The new one?
The one that has Nedry.
Yeah, okay. It is going to roll wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
It gets an 11, but is going to use a legendary resistance
Bitch.
to succeed instead. But it uses one.
Oh, wait.
Hmm?
Didn't it have... Hold on.
Hmm?
Well, I guess that wouldn't really matter, does it? Because I have the unsettling word.
Oh yeah, it also should have it. I you know what? I haven't been giving it the benefit of the wheel. It should have been having advantage on a lot of these rolls. So, but again, if I forget, we're not going to retcon. But I'm remembering now, so I'm going to roll one more time. Oh, that would have also failed anyway, so it still had to use the legendary resistance. But all right. So, you going to move or anything else for your turn?
One note that if it disappears again,
Okay.
I want to see if I can still see it with my Solomonia boon.
You
eyeballs.
think you would, but only if you're close enough.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay, that was Carolina's turn. So, quick question. We're a little past our normal time. Do we want to just finish this round and then leave it as a cliffhanger, or do you want to keep running till we beat the encounter? I'm okay either way.
Oh, I mean, as if we're going to beat the encounter. I don't think that's anytime soon.
I don't know. I mean, it's like
I've got some tricks, but I mean,
the skittering horror is really close. So, like, it's up to you guys to.
Yeah, but we have a nice fresh nightmare with lots of legendary hoo-has.
I think I don't want to go too late tonight. At least one more round. I don't know
Okay.
if we're going to be
Well,
Yeah.
so
able
we're
to
still
do the
midway
whole-
through this round, so we'll
Yeah.
So we'll say for now
Let's-
we're still going, but I've raised the possibility that we can call it when we feel we're ready. All right. Okay, so that was Carolina's turn, so it's Evan's turn. Got one more of the little guys, and also he's staring down the great big one. That got at least one round to do its cool, scary thing. Then it had to dance for several rounds, which was awesome.
Evan, right?
Yep, Evan's turn. Yep.
Yeah, he's gonna hit the guy, the big guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All right.
maybe.
A 15 is not enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, that one's definitely not gonna hit.
Nope, 16's not either.
That one'll hit.
A 26 hits. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this thing is really rough, but it's not down quite. All right. But he's, getting it closer. Okay. Nedry, one more bite. It's is doing on you. It's going to try again with advantage this time because it should have had it all this long time. That's a 25 to hit for 16 piercing.
Okay. All right.
And now it's your turn.
Nedry will gather his energy to waste a little bit of it, really.
Sacrificing a 4th level slot, even though I can't actually use all of those points, but I can use the 3 I get back.
Okay.
And kind of not quite looking at the creature, but sort of looking at the creature. Solomonia, I could use a little help.
And his eyes flash white,
Mm-hmm.
and he casts Banishment and heightens it for the save.
Okay. Right. And that's is that wisdom
That is
or charisma? Banishment is a weird one. I can never remember for sure.
It is a charisma save.
Okay. Yeah.
That's weird.
It's certainly better at wisdom, so good for you.
And it's disadvantage on a difficulty 18.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. It got a 1, not a natural 1, but a 1 nonetheless.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it is banished for the moment. Bloop. So you are no longer grappled by its tentacles.
Amethyst did say the plane of nightmares was bleeding into this one, so that means that implies there is a plane of nightmares, so maybe that's where it went.
You're not sure. You haven't tried this on one of the nightmares before.
I can hold it for up to a minute.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get ready.
Okay. So that is your turn. Anything else for your turn?
Kind of move away from that spot, I think.
Okay, sure.
Just in case.
Yeah.
I think it comes back in the exact same spot. So, yeah, kind of, like I said, it's about as far as you can get. So.
Okay. And then I think as your, it would have been the Balhaneth's turn, but it's currently banished. So Ivy's turn.
Let's see. Well,
Do you leave your shadow sphere up, Zaleen? Or would she have let it drop when it escaped? It's fine either way.
No, I mean, I think I have to use an action or something to dismiss it.
Okay, well that's fine. It can stay up.
Yeah.
I was just checking.
let's see. Ivy's gonna fly over. Wrong tool again. Okay, she's gonna fly over here, and then send a javelin at that guy.
The little one or the big one?
Oh, the little one.
Yep.
Yeah.
What we've got here between the two of them is a scuttling serpent maw and a skittering horror. A 12 does not hit, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay. And now, Skittering Horror, for the very first time since its first round, gets to actually do full round of stuff. And I think it stares down at Evan, who is the last one to hit it. And he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
At disadvantage.
At disadvantage, yeah.
Natural one. Oh no,
Okay.
yeah, natural one,
All right.
and can't get worse than that.
Okay. Well, it looks like that wasn't a natural one, but
it was a natural one plus 7. That's why it wasn't.
Evan
8
has plus
either.
7 on his wisdom.
I don't know why. It
No,
did
that's a
that.
It was a
7
7
plus
plus 1.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, I was gonna
okay,
say
that
that's
makes more
yeah.
sense.
Okay, that's why I was yeah. Okay, but nonetheless, unfortunately, that's going to fail. So as he stares up into its burning, nightmarish gaze, he is suddenly paralyzed as well, and now it's going to attack him with advantage and doing auto crits.
Mm-hmm.
So auto crits if it hits, of course, which it will with a 29.
Yeah.
Oh boy, you guys. It
He's
just
dead.
rolled almost max damage with without even adding the extra dice yet.
Well, you don't have to count it because he would probably already be at 0.
Okay, well, it's going to be 70 piercing damage for that bite.
That's double what he had left.
Well, it would have had to exceed his normal maximum, right? Like so if something has 10 maximum hit points, then something would have to take him to -10 in one go.
Okay, he would be negative 35.
Yeah, so he is certainly unconscious for sure.
Yeah.
With the bite. And then I think because there are other targets right there, it's going to gosh. You know what? Yeah, I think it's going to do one claw attack against you, Zaleen.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 29 to hit for 16 slashing damage.
Okay.
And I think it would go ahead and use its other claw attack on you. I was just trying to decide if it it only kept attacking for Carolina earlier because there wasn't another target nearby. But it's a 22 to hit for the second claw attack. That's for 19 slashing damage.
I am unconscious.
Oh no. Okay. So, yeah. All right. That was its turn. So now it's the little one's turn. And I think the little one is going to run over here to attack Ivy, I guess. Yeah. Who just threw a javelin at it. And it's going to do a bite. 17 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
Okay, and that's 7 piercing damage. Then a claw, 23 to hit for 7, and 22 to hit for 11. Wow.
Okay. Oh. Yeah,
Oh.
she didn't have to do a dexterity saving throw. Never mind.
No. So it should have been 14, 25 total.
She's down to 32 now.
Okay. All right, Zinhorn.
I grab Buster and come back out of the tower.
All right. So roll initiative for Buster.
Okay.
What was that about? I don't know if we really need him. I
Well-
think we're doing fine.
Well, not only that, but like Zinhorn, you emerge from the tower to see 2 of your allies down at the feet of this enormous thing.
Buster got a 20 on his initiative.
All right.
go away for 12 seconds.
We'll have him go after you on your turn.
Okay.
So we'll just go like he's going to get to go right after your turn here. So we'll say
Okay.
you used. You know what? You used your action to go in there last time. You can just use movement to come out this time. So
Okay.
you have an action this time.
Okay. Let me see. What do I have in the way of mass healing?
Mm.
For mass cure wounds.
You have that?
Yep.
Well, that seems like it would be a potentially useful one.
Up to 6 creatures in a 30-foot radius.
All right. You could get basically everyone except Carolina.
Yep.
right.
Everybody gets 22 hit points back.
Nice.
Did my shadow ribbons go when I went unconscious?
You know what? I think they would.
Yeah.
All right. But now, Evan and Zaleen, you've got you are once again.
I have a bonus action.
Okay.
I'll send my spiritual hammer over there and try to hit that thing again. And I got a 19.
Okay, that hits.
And I got 11 points of damage.
That one is destroyed.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
All right.
Here's a question I believe that's come up before. Spiritual weapon is not a concentration spell, but I still feel like it would disappear if you go unconscious. Right? I mean, yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah. All right.
All right. And I'm going to say, Buster, big scary monster. Kill.
Big scary monster.
Yes.
Kill. All right. So it is Buster's turn, and there's a big scary monster.
All right. Buster is going to move over big scary monster, and
I actually love this cinematically just because Buster's finally coming out. Big scary monster.
Yep. His bite attack, natural 20.
Yeah, he just demolishes this thing. Like technically it had 14 hit points, but yeah, it's just like so. I think again cinematically, like this has all been really scary. Like Evan and Zaleen are down. Ivy's taking damage. There's one left, and but then Zinhorn emerges, heals everyone, and then Buster. Big scary monster, and then Buster just
heals everyone, kills the last little one, and says, "Buster, kill."
Yeah, and he does. He rips it to pieces, and he's just yeah, he just absolutely tears it apart. And so right now we are not quite out of initiative because Nedry is still holding Banish.
I can keep it away, but I don't know where it's gonna go.
So we just had Buster's turn. Is Zaleen's turn?
I'm going to heal myself some more, probably.
Okay. You know what? Actually, here's the thing. I know that the result is that the banishment is going to work. So rather than having us go through 8 rounds of you being ready or something like that, I think so. What we'll just say cinematically here is that there is a lot of tension as you all sort of surround the area, ready to attack if it returns. And you wait, and you wait. And then once the minute passes, Nedry, you feel the spell release, discharging the banished creature back to the plane of dream where it belongs.
It's gone.
So here's my question then. What happens to the wheel in Woe? Do those go away? Because
It is the
thing...
equivalent of it being destroyed in this
Okay.
context. So yes, that will yeah. So it counts in that regard. So, but yes, because essentially, what I think perhaps discussion later might yield is, as far as insights to that, is that the plane of dream, as you've started to kind of learn about it, things are not permanently defined there in the same way that they are in other planes. And so essentially, by returning it to the plane of dream, it is no longer what it was. It kind of returns to just the energy of the plane. And it is no longer the thing that it was. It is just dissipated back into the energy of the plane. But as that last...
Go ahead.
As that last moment of tension dissipates, Nedry, you release your held breath as the spell completes and the thing does not return. All of a sudden, you are once again aware of the people that have gathered all around at safe distances who cheer as you have now successfully fought off this creature. And as you watch, the mushrooms and fungal tendrils are already starting to crumble into dust.
Nice.
Well,
I
that's
can
one
imagine.
theory
Right.
confirmed.
Carolina's sitting on that little cropping and she's just crying. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Good negotiations, guys.
All right. And then I think that is a good place for us to go ahead and end our session for tonight.
So many mushrooms.
Yes. So,
Oh, yep.
so how will the Archfey reward our heroes for their victory? Nick, we'll have to find out next time when we return for more adventures on so many levels.
So
So
many
many
troubles.
levels.
So what do you think? Was
And
that
mushrooms.
was that a good fungal scourge?
That was.
All right.
Mhm.
That was a worthy battle.
Scourgelicious.
Yeah.
Scourgelicious.
Definitely scourged.
Scourgelicious.